So tell me about the Artist Studio Tour and where you're going to be and what you'll be displaying.
Okay, well, where I'm going to be is at Nancy Backus's stop.
What are you going to have at Nancy's house when you display your work?
Oh, I don't know. I'll bring some things. I'll bring some things to Nancy's house, and I will also be painting on her, probably on her outside porch of the. But you get a fine view up there. Well, these are paintings of northern Arizona mostly. And it's from Canyon de Chelly. This is from Canyon de Chelly, and it's because it's an easy access in that valley to the Anasazi remains of the cliff dwellings.
Okay, and what brought you to northern Arizona?
Well, somebody else arranged the trip, and I thought it sounded interesting, so I signed on. That's all. There was about 30 or 40 people that went.
Okay. What are some of the other places that you like to go and paint?
Well, here, for instance, this is up in the area behind Lone Pine. You know, we go there once a year and paint. Another group, a different group, some of the same people, but and in this case there were about 80 of us that went on this trip. And this is the area behind Lone Pine, which is called Alabama Hills, and as I say, we went up there. We go up there every year in around May or June.
And now Lone Pine is, correct me if I'm wrong, but is not Lone Pine a place where a lot of John Wayne films were shot and some other films?
It certainly is, and these Alabama Hills are in all kinds of pictures like that. Not John Wayne, not only John Wayne, but whole cowboy pictures going way back.
Hi, I'm Margaret Moore. I'm one of the artists who are going to be featured on the Artist Studio Tour through the Palos Verdes Art Center, and I'm going to give you a little preview of what's going to be at my house on the studio tour. Front door. Ah.
Hello.
This is my husband, Ed.
Well, welcome. Come on in.
I'm going to have a lot of my artwork just kind of sitting around in various locations. I have a lot of it that's framed and quite a bit that's not framed. It will be sitting around, but along with my artwork will be the artwork of two art-to-wear people. We're going to have Nancy Comerford's jewelry, and Nancy will maybe be in the dining room, I'm not sure. Nancy will be here, along with my artwork, of course. Coming along through this way, we're going to have Susie Click with her clothing, and people will be able to try on her beautiful things. They can go into one of our other rooms with mirrors and see what they look like. Her things are lovely. And on out to the patio. Okay, we're here at the patio. Right now all we have is our gazebo, which we enjoy very much. A few squirrels and flowers. But on the day of the studio tour, Jan Napolitan will be here with her ceramics. A lot of people in Palos Verdes like to collect Jan's ceramics and her pots, as she calls them. So we look forward to having her here. And then people can come on into my studio, which is not very large, but is definitely large enough for watercolor. So come on in there. Okay, this is where I paint, and it's just large enough for me to do what we call a half sheet, which in watercolor is a pretty big painting. This right now is a quarter sheet that I've just finished. I just like to just sit here and paint. I've got my husband sitting over there at his computer, the lovely outdoor light, and it's just a relaxing, wonderful place for me. I'm going to be happy to show people paintings in progress during the studio tour. A lot of people like to see how it's done, and it's really fun for me to show them that. Okay, just to show you some of my work, I've got two paintings here. This one, I call it Manna. I painted it from a photo of a box of peaches. Funny thing. It was just they were such beautiful peaches that I really wanted to present them as God made them. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do with my art is I'm trying to give God credit for the beauty that he gives us. So I thought the peaches were beautiful. I call them manna, and it's like manna from heaven. This is a painting down here of a Tarahumara Indian mother and her baby. Her baby is actually in a hospital in Creel, Mexico. It's a free clinic that is run by the Catholic Church, which, although I am not a member of the Catholic Church, I very much support the wonderful work that they're doing. When we visited the Tarahumara Indians, I was very moved by the way they try to maintain their traditional way of life. So I send anything I get from this series of paintings, I send to the free clinic there. And that's kind of a summary of what I like to do. I paint from photos here in my studio, and it's just the most wonderful privilege to be able to do it. I also have some storage in here, a lot of frames and unframed paintings, and a lot of the unframed paintings will be out during the studio tour. So it's going to be a very artsy place.
Usually I just painted the South Bay area. Mostly I did a lot Catalina. I have like a Malibu coat and also have a glass church area.
Okay, the Wayfarers Chapel.
Yes.
Okay. And you were telling me how you went to school and you were influenced in a certain kind of art, and then later you were influenced in a different kind of art. What was the first one that you were influenced by?
Yeah, because my art education is based in China. It's like North China is Shanxi University. That's the a very good history in China. This school, and there the school have almost 100 years of history. So the art department is a very famous place. So we learned basically like a Russia impression, kind of like classic and traditional. So after that, I'm postgraduate in Nanjing University of Art. That's the kind of like
where is that?
Nanjing is South China, because this is different. The style both. So make my own style.
So give me an example from the paintings behind you, perhaps. An example of some of your French-influenced work.
Oh, the French is like an example like this one. I painted a mission like last year. That's the basically if you take a photo, it just pretty. It's not really like that bright and feel like a pretty art and the color jumping out. This is the use the pretty colorful style.
Well, I work in pottery, so this is an example of some of my work that I'll have here at the open house.
Okay. And where did you get your start doing these wonderful ceramics?
Well, I started in college, and then from college I moved to North Carolina to apprentice with a potter. And from there, I spent 2 years there and learning basically just how to throw. Or to throw on the potter's wheel, okay, which I will be doing at the open house.
You'll be demonstrating the potter's wheel?
I will. And from there, I moved.
How come I hear the theme of Ghosts with Patrick Swayze passing away recently?
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be demonstrating that, though?
Yes, I will. And I'll also be demonstrating my technique. But
first, where'd you go to college?
It's a small private school in Iowa. It's called Buena Vista University.
Okay. And you did some ceramics there, and then went and studied out?
I did. I wanted to be a professor, and an alumni that had gone there was a master potter, so.
Oh, okay.
Professor had taught him and me, so sent me on my way to him.
And you have these unique circles in here. You said you might be demonstrating how that works?
I will, yes. I'll also be demonstrating that. My pots, my pieces, it's quite the process. So I fire each piece typically up to 4 times. The first firing is just a bis firing, and then the second firing.
A bis firing?
Bis firing is just to make it hard, so it's easier to work with. It's still porous, so it'll take the glaze, and it's not completely sealed, which you get in the final firings. But after it's come out of the bisque firing, I spray it all with the colors, and then I spray it with a clear glaze, and then fire it to cone 6, which is roughly almost 2200 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty hot. And then once it comes out, it looks typically just like this, just kind of plain with the colors. And then I spray it again, and then I hand carve each and every one of these little circles.
Wow, and you'll be demonstrating some of that?
I will.